Hi, I'm Auntie Dawn. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm making pickled jalapeno egg wraps. I start with 2 large eggs, flour tortillas, pickled jalapenos, a cooking fat, I'm using ghee, and cheese, shredded or slices, and a pinch of salt. So I start by putting my tortillas on a plate, and then I'm going to add a sprinkle of cheese to each. Now I'm going to stick these in the microwave, but I'm not going to start it yet. Next, I'm going to beat my eggs. These are really big eggs. There's been a whole lot of variant since the bird flu hit the chickening industry. Actually, I'm going to use a third egg here since I'm making 2. As always, I hit them with a fork a few times to get that membrane broken up around the yolk before I start beating it up. All right, now that they're nice and beaten, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and beat it in. Now I've opened a window and I'm going to turn on my vent fan. Now I can turn on the heat under my egg pan to medium, and I'm going to add just a little bit of fat. With a non-stick pan, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit to help them slide free. While that's heating up, I'm going to cut up my jalapeno. I like using chopsticks to extract the jalapeno. Just stack them up by size and then give them a quick chop. There we go. Now the pan is hot. I'm just going to rotate it to persuade the ghee to get everywhere. There we go. Nice and hot. So for this batch, I'm going to be making soft scrambled eggs. So I'm going to turn down the heat just a smidge so that it's on the low side of medium and wait for it to start solidifying around the edges. You can see here, when I pull it away, you can see a little bit of cooked egg action. I want more like that. Okay, now that it's started to solidify, I'm going to take my little spatula and go around the edges and work that in and start scraping and working the cooked egg into the raw egg. And given how quickly it's cooking, I'm going to continue to turn the heat down just a little bit. I want these eggs to be nice and soft. Okay, now the eggs are almost done, so I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to add jalapenos to the other side of the pan, let them get warmed up, and now I'm going to go turn the microwave on. I found the best way to get the cheese just melty but not to fry the edges of the tortilla is the defrost setting on 1/10 of a pound. Okay, so you can see the cheese has started to melt. The egg is going to finish that job. So I'm going to set it down and scoop half of the egg into each of these, stripping it over the cheese so it melts the cheese, and then get the jalapeno in on top of that. Now I can wrap them up. To make an omelet style, my tortilla, put it on a plate, load it up with cheese, or in my case, the cheese-like substance made from tofu. I'm going to stick this in the microwave. Now I'm going to beat my eggs and turn the heat under my egg pan to medium. Add a bit of ghee. Okay, now that the pan is hot, I can pour in my eggs. I always beat them more a little bit just as I'm pouring them in, because it always seems there's some little chunk of white that's been hanging out and hiding. So the challenge with this is that the egg pan is slightly larger than my rather small whole wheat tortillas. So I'm going to let it solidify for a moment until the edges all turn solid. Okay, now that it's started to turn solid, I'm going to work my way around the edge of the pan and push it down in. All right, now at this point you can see it's solidified, so what I'm going to do is slide my spatula under there and lift it up and tilt the pan toward it so that the egg slides around under there. I'm going to do that all around the edges. Scoop it all back in to try to keep it on the small side. And scoop. Pour. All right, at this point I'm going to turn the heat down to low. You can see it's really starting to solidify. Hardly any is sliding off now. So this is the point at which I'm going to, it's still soft enough that I can urge it all toward the center of the pan to make it smaller. That's really helpful if I want the egg wrap to be tortilla all on the outside, rather than the egg being so big that it wraps around the outside of it, which is a little messier to eat. Okay, so now that it's solid, I'm going to sprinkle on my jalapeno. And now this is the tricky part. I'm going to flip it over. Those jalapenos really going to want to come off, so whoop. Ha! While this is cooking through, I'm going to turn the heat off and go microwave my tortilla. Okay, you can see that my cheese-like substance has started to melt. So I'm going to slide my egg onto it and then roll it up. And here's my egg wrap. When I was down with the flu, I lived on these and egg drop soup. It was tough getting food down. These were easy to make, easy on my throat, and spicy enough to actually taste like something, despite the congestion. I hope you enjoy these egg wraps as much as I do. See you next time. And one final note, just in case there's any interruption in my videos, probably because I'm really sick again, it's a really good idea to subscribe to my channel. That way, no matter when the videos post, you'll get notified. You can do that by going to your subscriptions page, click on Auntie Dawn's Kitchen, and you'll see a bell up in the upper right-hand corner. Click that, and then every time I post a video, you'll get notified under your notifications icon at the top of your page.